Hello, my name is Juliette and welcome to my knitting YouTube channel. Today I thought that we could go through my yarn stash together because I'm actually moving pretty soon. It's a whole complicated situation. I'm moving to a temporary Airbnb and then I'm going to Switzerland for an internship. So in the meantime, I'm going to have stuff in storage. So I need to pack as if I was just moving. Well, I have to leave this place basically. That's as simple as it is. And so I need to pack. And eventually I need to pack my yarn. And I thought that's the best way to actually showcase my yarn stash that I've got accumulated here over the past year and a bit more than that, because I've been knitting for a while, but like I've been building my stash for a year now. So yes, this is a great opportunity to go through all my yarns. And yeah, if you're a nosy person and love looking at what people have, this is the perfect video for you. If you're just curious about what sort of yarn that I tend to have in my stash, well, you'll get to find out. So I have an enormous amount of yarn that's stashed here, and then also at the bottom of my wardrobe there. So that's everything that I've got to work with. Right, so for now, I think I'm just gonna get everything onto my bed here, and then we'll start sorting through it and then putting things in boxes, I guess. I pulled out the first big bag and then already a bunch of things started falling out, which I didn't catch on camera. This is interesting. So the things that fell out of that big bag were actually bags of lavender from my grandmother's garden in the south of France. And she has an enormous amount that honestly she could make probably a good amount of money out of. And she just gave me a bunch because I requested them because I know they're great for yarn storage to keep moths away. All right, let me grab some more. This is a pretty new purchase. This is not... I'm gonna need something to step on to reach this. And this is just the stuff that I've put at the top of my wardrobe. There's quite a lot on inside my wardrobe as well. Yoink. Yoink. Way too much. Some of this I don't even remember having. This is not good. Oh my goodness. Completely forgot about this one. I think that was all of the stuff from the top of the wardrobe, and it's already looking like a pile. And now I'm gonna get out the stuff from inside the wardrobe. Okay, this is from inside and there's already stuff falling out. Okay, let me put all of this down and then we can start talking about the yarn that I have. I'm so out of breath. Right, this is what we're working with. Oy, not the best. Not the best. I guess we'll just go with... Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, I'm no longer buying yarn for a long time. Right, let's start with, you know, whatever's in front of me. I apologize for any like plastic noises that you might hear throughout the video while I rummage through some of these bags, but yeah. So, okay. So let's start with this. This is a sweater quantity of Filcola Natalia in the color 124. I think it's called Deep Pine or something like that. And I'm pairing it with Tin Peer Gynt in the color Sadness Garden Tin Peer Gynt in the color 8082 and the color 1002 to make a porcelain sweater that's going to have a green background and white colorwork accents. Next up is 2 balls of Sandnes Garn Sunday in the color 5012 and a little bit left over. This is leftovers from when I was doing my maple wrap by Handmade by Florence, and I also have a bit of the mohair left. I have a second bowl of this somewhere, probably in that. So this is the combination that I use for my maple wrap. So this is Filcola and Atelier in the color 353. So as you can probably see, Filcola Atelier has been one of my favorite mohairs this year. It's been like such a discovery this year. I tolerate it really well against my skin, so I'm pretty happy with just keep purchasing more of this stuff in the future for future projects. So yeah, and this color of Sunday, I mean, the maple wrap was probably one of my best performing posts on my Instagram, and I think it's to do with the color combination that I chose. I really enjoyed knitting these two together. Oh, here's a Filcola Atelier in white to pair with the white Tin Peer Gin for my porcelain sweater. Oh, this is nice. This, I have a sweater quantity of here, is Sandnes Garn Peer Gynt in the color 6046, which is also called, I think, Jolly Blue or Electric Blue. I was inspired by Tiffany Liu of Typical Bliss. She made an electric blue jumper, and I was so inspired by that. And we have like similar coloring, I suppose. So I thought that this blue would suit me. Well, I hope it does. I really like this color. It brings me so much joy. And I really wanted to knit a simple but statement jumper in Peer Gynt. So I found it on sale from Knit Double T. And so I jumped on the sale and got a certain quantity. Okay, next up. Ooh, this is Sandnes Garn Double Sunday. So we're seeing quite a lot of Sandnes Garn at the moment. This is Sandnes Garn Double Sunday that I recently purchased. It's a leftover from a project. There's basically a bit less than 50 grams in here. I put the label back on so I remember what it is. So it looks like it's like a new ball, but it isn't. I did take some yarn off of this. Sandnes Garn Double Sunday in the color 4236, which is called Deep Red. It resembles more of a brick red than like a true blue red. I used this to knit an Oslo hat for a friend who had a lot of red winter accessories, and so I wanted to complete the look with a red hat for him, and he really liked it, so I'm quite happy with that. So this is a whole bag of a wool warehouse order for back when Drops Daisy dropped. Haha, dropped. And I was kind of obsessed with that because I hadn't tried Sandnes Garn Double Sunday before, and Drops Daisy's specs are very similar to Drops Double Sunday, so I wanted to try it out because it's also a much cheaper option. And at release they also had At release they also had a good sale. The price was pretty good, so I got a sweater quantity to pair with mohair. So now I slightly regret getting this because I think in hindsight I would have splurged the money on Filcola Atelier since I like it so much, but at the time, you know, I was trying to save money. So I got this Drops Kid Silk to pair with this Drops Daisy. So the Kid Silk is in the color 56 and Daisy is in the color Marzipan. 02 is the color number. I think this is such a beautiful beige that doesn't veer too yellow. Very nice neutral color. And I wanted to do, I think I initially wanted to do an Ingrid sweater with this, but now that My Favorite Things knitwear came out with sweater number 23, which can be knitted in this gauge, I think I'm going to do that instead, because I've been wanting to do sweater number 15, which is quite similar but different gauge. Like that kind of, you know, look of all over cables that are the same everywhere. And then she came out with 29, which is, I think, an even better version. N is the right gauge. This is the yarn. This is the right yarn combination for it. So I believe sweater number 29 calls for Isaiah Jensen animal hair. So I think this is a good substitute for that combination. Now, this is a very recent purchase. It is neatly packed in a plastic bag, so I won't fiddle with it. Oh, actually it isn't. Oh, the plastic is open. All right, but I'll keep the plastic to keep the moths away. This is something that I've been wanting for a really long time. It's the Rerum Natura in Gilead, or I guess in French you'd say Gilead. It's merino, 100% merino in like a heavy decay, and this is the color Poivre Blanc. So it's a very beautiful marled beige. So it's beige with these kind of dark gray marlings, which is really, really beautiful. It gives such nice depth to this jumper. And I recently picked it up because I was in Paris and I went to the shop called Little Weasel, which is, I think, the knitting shop that everyone recommends whenever you mention knitting shops in Paris. And I didn't have particular projects in mind when I bought it, but I bought a sweater quantity of it. So that's about 4 balls for me, because these are actually 100-gram balls essentially. And I've been browsing some patterns that I could do with it. I think I might do a lace pullover by Ozetta. I think I was wondering whether I want to do something cabled with this, because it's a light color and therefore it will be a good way to showcase cables. But at the same time I was thinking, like, I really just want a simple plain beige jumper, and I'm already doing cables with the sweater number 29, so I think I'll just stick to a simple sweater. But I like the idea of doing the lace pullover because the construction is very different from anything I've done before, so it will still be challenging enough to keep me interested while staying a very basic piece that I'll be able to wear loads. I'll keep doing my top of wardrobe things until I run out of those, and then I'll move on to these stack of boxes. This is also a pretty recent purchase. I keep purchasing things when they go on sale, and it's not a good thing. I'm gonna need to buy a lot of furniture because I'm moving to a place that does not have any furniture. I need to start getting my own with my partner, so I need to seriously save some money. So like, this is I'm going on a very serious yarn ban moving forward. So this was another sale purchase, as I said. I got it from Yarnworks when they were having, this is their end of stock sale. So they were getting a new order of knitting for Olive with the new colorways and stuff for some of the yarn qualities. So they just wanted, I think they just put everything that was on old dialots on sale. So that's why I snagged 8 balls of knitting for Olive heavy merino in the color brown nougat. And for a really decent price. I think this is about this is a cropped sweater quantity for me, and that cost me about 50 quid or something, and that's really good for something as high quality as heavy merino. So again, got this without really having a plan, but it's a really beautiful color. I think I've been leaning more into my browns lately, and blues as well, if you hadn't noticed with the other stuff. So I was thinking, I didn't really know what to do with this. I was thinking for a while I'll do a cable jumper with it, and I was looking at a lot of cable stuff, but I've already decided I want to do sweater number 29 with the drops yarn, and I'm still not done with the Moby sweater, and I've got a colorwork jumper coming up, so I feel like I need to do some more simple projects so that I don't overwhelm myself with things that are too difficult. While I'm both process and product knitter, I think for now I'm still focused more on creating things I can wear. I don't want that to take too much time by having too many difficult projects lined up one after the next. So all this to say, I was thinking of doing a cable jumper with this, but I think I'm going to stick to a simple jumper. In fact, recently I saw on Knitting for Olive's Instagram account that you could knit their jumper called It's Not a Sweatshirt, which is a very simple raglan jumper. The pattern suggests merino and soft silk mohair, but they say that you can knit it with the heavy merino as well. You just have to, the gauge is just a bit different, so like your garment will be a bit bigger than intended, but they said that because it's already an oversized jumper, the slight difference in gauge is not really going to make a difference. So I think I'm gonna follow the suggestion and make the It's Not a Sweatshirt, since I already have the Knitting for Olive pattern book, which includes that pattern. So I think it would be really nice to have just a very simple jumper in this color. Also, like, for me, this color is already a bit, not bold, but a bit out there compared to the rest of my wardrobe. So I think I don't really want to make it even more out there by putting some sort of cable on it or some sort of color work, because I did think about that as well. And I just want to make it a simple jumper with this. I might change my mind either for this or the Gilead. One of them might become a cable jumper, who knows. We'll see, but you know, it's good to have options. Just I guess that's the point of a stash, right? You create a kind of some sort of shop at your place so that you have the option to start a new project when you feel like it, without having to wait for yarn to come. I mean, there's arguments for and against keeping yarn at your disposal instead of buying it when you need. I am not the best place for this because I'm a bit of a shopping addict, so yeah, there's part of it that's also just me liking purchasing yarn. Okay, so this is not a purchase. This was gifted and it's so nice. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with it, but it's precious, so I don't mind taking some time to think about what I want to make with it. This was gifted very kindly by a follower on Instagram who wanted to destash this 1 kilo. This is heavy. This is a 1 kilo cone of cashmere yarn in like a light DK or sport weight, and it's got this it's like these three yarns that are applied together. There's a yellow or turquoisey blue and olive green that's all applied together to make this really beautiful yellowish green. It's got like blue tones in it as well. Yeah, it's so nice. I actually think I have enough to make 2 jumpers out of this, so I was gonna maybe make a matching set for me and my partner. So right, let's move on to this stuff. So this is where I keep some of the more one-off yarns. So you might have noticed everything at the top of the wardrobe were things that were already kind of packed as a sweater quantity, and so it was just easier to kind of stash away. These are more, this is a sweater quantity of something else, but then the rest of the stuff is like one-offs, like hand-dyed yarns or yarns that I'm using for current projects. And yeah, let's go through it. So we can go through this first. This is so precious. It's a sweater quantity of Knitting for Olive merino and soft silk mohair in the color petroleum green, and I picked this up in Copenhagen at the flagship store. So I'm gonna make I think I'm gonna make the balloon sweater by Petite Knit. I want to keep it simple because the color is already quite a statement color. So I think the balloon sweater also, I really like balloon sleeves and I really like the style of that jumper in general. So yeah, and I have the right quantity for it. I'm really looking forward to knitting with this. I heard so many good things about this combination. I've worked with the Knitting for Olive merino, but never with the soft silk mohair, which is kind of held as one of the best mohairs you can get on the market. So yeah, really excited about the end result. And the balloon sweater as well, which is so beautiful, so elegant. So I think it will go really well with this color. Now, moving on, we have quite a collection of hand-dyed sock yarns. I've been subscribed to the, what's it called? The Market Town Yarns monthly yarn subscription for sock yarn. And these are the 3 latest months, basically. So this is the colorway for May, which is a beautiful kind of magnolia-ish colorway. You've got June, which is inspired by the coast and corals and the sea. And this is July. I don't really know the inspiration for this, but still very beautiful pink and purple marbling. Okay, so these are really wonderful. I'm knitting some socks with the April colorway at the moment. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to knitting with these because they're so pretty. And I feel like if I knit socks out of these, I'm going to get a lot of small amounts of leftovers that I could probably make into a sweet shop blanket, for example, or another scrappy project like that. And yeah, I think that would be really useful. It's just a little bundle of joy that I get every month. Probably not financially the most smart for me to be spending money on yarn every month, but they bring me joy. And Market Town Yarns is hand dyed by Gavin and his partner at Yarnworks, and they've been so incredibly kind by actually sponsoring the PhD vest, which is my own pattern. So they're sponsoring it by giving me this yarn for the second sample that I'm knitting. So this is their squishy DK yarn, which is it's actually technically a DK sock yarn, so it's got a bit of nylon in it, but it's absolutely fine to use for, you know, a garment. So this is the color Stacy, which is this beautiful, again, petroleum green. I clearly like this color, right? So yeah, this is all from Market Town Yarns, so make sure you check it out. They're you know, Suffolk based, so quite local for me. It's great to be supporting and be supported by a local business. So sticking with some hand dyed, if you stay in the realm of hand dyed yarns, I've got a few more I can show you here. So prior to the subscription with Market Town Yarns from Yarnworks, I was with their Emma's Yarn subscription, and then I changed over to the Market Town Yarns because it was a bit cheaper. It's also, you know, locally hand dyed, whereas Emma's Yarn is dyed in Florida. So yeah, I thought it would be just a bit better to switch to something a bit more local, quite a bit more local compared to Florida. So these are the yarns from the previous subscription. Can't really remember what the colors are, and I think I have one more. Oh no, I don't. Okay. I guess I used it up. Yeah, I must have. So this is January 2024. This is February 2024. And this is the, I believe, the December, yeah, that's right, December 2023 colorway. So this is a really beautiful smoky blue with some specks of orange. Really like this color. And then these, this is I guess the gamble that you take when you're having a subscription. You don't get to choose the colorways. So these are not at all colors that I would have picked for myself. But I'm gonna make socks out of them regardless, because like in winter you're wearing boots and stuff, so it doesn't really matter what color your socks are, and it's actually quite nice to be wearing really funky socks while the rest of your outfit is pretty plain, because it's just for your own satisfaction and joy, right? So yeah, they're gonna be DK weight, so these are all DK, whereas Market Town Yarns was sock, the fingering weight sock yarn that I'm getting a subscription for. I switched over because I thought it was more financially interesting to be making socks, fingering weight socks, because they're more wearable throughout the year, whereas DK weights socks are very much only worn in winter because they'll be very thick and warm. So yeah, I'll make socks out of them at some point. I've got some more hand-dyed yarn here. This, oh my goodness, I love the colorway of this. This is the Camel's Yarn, which is a hand-dyed yarn company that's based in Cornwall, and the creator has such a good aesthetic. She takes inspiration from Cornwall's nature, and if you look at her website, I mean, for me, if I were only able to shop from her website for her hand-dyed yarns for the rest of my life, I'd be a happy cookie, because that's how much I love the color selection that she does and the palettes that she creates with all her hand dyeing. So I got this at the Camel's Yarn stall at the East Anglia Yarn Festival. So it was really nice to be able to see this stuff in person, and I just love this colorway. It's just so interesting. It's called North Coast Coven, which is actually, I believe, sold at the moment on her website. It's this beautiful smoky blue with some specks of green and variegations of green and light purple. It's such a beautiful hand-dyed baby Surrey alpaca. That's what I forgot to say. This is baby Surrey alpaca, which I've never tried in a jumper before, and it already feels so incredibly soft. I knitted a swatch with it using this stuff, which I guess I'll talk about next. So combine these two together, it creates a really beautiful smoky blue jumper. I think this blue, because some of it is in the Surrey, it matches really well with the hand-dyed baby Surrey alpaca to create a really seamless looking jumper. So yeah, I knitted this. I used some of this in my stash to knit the mixed rib camisole by Handmade by Florence, and I have such a quantity left over to knit that jumper held with the baby Surrey alpaca. I'm probably gonna make an October sweater with it. Yeah, really looking forward to it. My last hand-dyed yarn to talk about, which was also acquired at East Anglia Yarn Festival, is this one. This is Yarn Unique Silky Yak 4-ply, which is a mix of 60% superwash merinos, 20% silk, 20% yak. So it's incredibly soft to the touch. And I was instantly attracted by that, and also how saturated the color is on this. I think with hand dyeing, it's quite like, sometimes the hand dyers, they don't quite get this sort of saturation, and this company, Yarn Unique, it's amazing. All the colorways that they had were so beautifully saturated, and I thought this eggplant purple was gonna suit me. I got my friends who came with me to the East Anglia Yarn Festival to help me choose the colorways between this and like a really deep blue, and they thought that the purple would be a better match for me. So this is a 4-ply weight, so I wanted to make a really light jumper with it, because I don't really have anything that's less than DK weight in terms of jumpers. So yeah, I wanted to make a fingering weight jumper out of this. Oof, okay, we're getting through this stuff. Now, next, this is some of what I have still in my stash for the Moby sweater that I'm knitting at the moment. It's Sandnes Garn Pure Gin in the color 9572. This is Co-op Knit socks, yeah, in DK. I bought this because I thought I was going to make a Christmas present out of it for someone, and I didn't end up doing that in the end, but that's fine because it's, you know, a DK sock yarn that I could always knit up for myself. These are leftovers of Drops Daisy in the color 01 white and the cobalt blue color. I knit this together for my first porcelain sweater, and the gauge wasn't right, so that's why I'm knitting a second one using Tin Pure Gin and Filcolon Atelier. These are the ones that have been sitting in my stash for the longest time. Oof, these are both Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino. This is the colorway Oatmeal, and this is Dusty Artichoke, but these are the old dye lots before Knitting for Olive's revival of Cotton Merino from this year. And I actually have the same quantity, so I have 4 balls of this, but 2 of them are currently in a project that I'm frogging. I think I had to cut some of the stuff from the project I'm frogging, so I have just under 4 balls of knitting for olive cotton merino in this oatmeal colorway. I'm thinking of doing a summer t-shirt at some point, and then with this I was thinking of doing a white top because it's the right quantity. But I'm starting to think that I don't really like knitting summer tops and things like that, summer projects. So I'll get to these at some point. They've been sitting in my stash for a whole year now, so I really need to get some use out of it. We'll see, we'll see. This is a ball of knitting for olive pure silk in the color cream that I'm currently knitting up, and this is just the 4th ball of the project. I'm currently knitting up the, what's it called? Cumulus T V-neck with it. I've got a lot of leftover things that I don't really know what to do with. So this is, for example, this is a lot of leftover from my Stockholm sweater V-neck, my red jumper that I knit last winter. It's a really beautiful jumper, and I've got these leftover mohair and drops flora. I don't know what to do with it. This is drops flora in the color 18, and this is kid silk in the color 14. Yes, so the red basically. Can you tell that they're from different dye lots? I feel like the top one is less saturated than the bottom one. Anyway, okay, so I feel like I need to have a dedicated box for leftovers. Right, let's go through this some more. This was a gift. These are Camaros Midnight Soul in the color Lise Puder for the pink and Lise Brun for the brown. And this stuff I got as a gift from my best friend for my birthday. And I also have some unknown amount of, oh my goodness, I just realized there's another bag of yarn somewhere. I'll get that at the end. There's an unknown amount of drops kid silk in the white color, so just 01, that I've got lying around from both leftover from the fennel seed jacket and also stuff that I've frogged from another project that I'll get to, because this is all the yarn from that frogged project as well. This is knitting for olive merino in the color marzipan, which is leftover from my camisole number 5. It's really nice. I love this color, so beautiful, like such a perfect grayish beige. I really want to knit a whole jumper out of this color, so I'm holding on to this ball of yarn because it'll save me money in the long run. Then I've got some kind of various sock yarn. This is Filcolana Alva. There's 2 of them, but I think I used yarn from the 2 balls, and now there's about 25 gram each, so a whole 50 gram out of these 2 leftovers. So it's as if I had 1 full spoon out of this, and I'm wondering if I can knit some socks with it. And I've also got 50 gram of this Hiertegarn aloe sock wool in white, so I'm thinking maybe I could do some color work socks by combining these 2 together, because now with the combination is 100 gram, which is enough to make me a sock. So this is leftover for some mittens that I knit for my future sister-in-law, and this is leftover from Erica's socks that I knit. This is leftover of Lang Yavol superwash from when I knit my Una socks from 52 weeks of socks. And then I have this one, which is a different colorway, because I was running out of the first ball of this. This is the second ball when I was knitting up my Una socks. And I went to the shop and I got this without, I didn't come in with a sample. So I thought from memory that this was the color I was using. It wasn't at all. You could see the stark difference, right? So now I just have this brand new, spool of Nang Yawol in the color 83 or something. This is color 84, I believe. You could see my mistake, right? That I don't know what to do with this. I'll keep this because I'm sure it'll come in handy if I'm doing some sort of color work at some point, or it could just be used as darning yarn for if I ever get holes in my socks or anything like that. So yeah, I'm holding on to this, but don't really know what to do. And then the last thing I have in these boxes is this stuff. So this is a mixture of Drops Flora and Drops Kid Silk again. And this is in the color 22 for Drops Flora. And I think that's the color White Fog. And color 38 for Kid Silks. I think this is like a really good substitute for the marzipan color in Knitting for Olive. If you don't want to pay for Knitting for Olive, you can't afford it, but you want to get similar color from Drops, which is much cheaper, and also these two often go on sale, I think, yeah, this colorway is the right dupe for it. So I again saved this from the college craft room because someone has started a project with it, and then for 3 years it was untouched. So I think whoever started the project just left, or like no longer wanted to knit with it. So because it's a colorway that I really enjoy, I think this one I'm going to hold on to, whereas the rest of the stuff that I found in the craft room, I'm just going to bring it back and give, you know, someone else have a go, let someone else have a go with it. But this colorway I really like, and I wanted to give it some justice by knitting up something beautiful. So it's looking a bit weird because like this is part Flora, part Kid Silk that's been spun back together, and this is just a Kid Silk that's been used. So there's not a whole sort of quantity in this, but if I need to purchase some more, I'll purchase some more, you know. I was actually thinking that this is actually almost enough to make a lento sweater. So that's an idea. I can make a pretty quick and dirty jumper with this. It will be really inexpensive because, you know, this is it's part of my college craft room. We're allowed to take the yarn and make something out of it and keep it for ourselves if we use it. So why not, you know? And I probably won't have to buy any more yarn to make a lento out of this. Yeah, there's a whole pile of yarn here. And I've just realized that there's some more somewhere else, so I'll just grab that now. Can't even open the bag. That's not okay. So this is a sweater quantity of Drops Wish, which I frogged from a previous project. So it's a blown bulky yarn in the color 01, white again. I've got a whole sweater quantity of it in there. Some of it is still in like the original bowl packaging, and most of it is in these cake formats from having frogged the, what was it called? A cardigan from the Knit Pearl Girl. The gaze just wasn't right. I didn't really enjoy the fit of it. I was almost done with it. I only had one sleeve left. I hadn't even bothered doing the double knitted edge all around the garment, and I still, yeah, I think this, I purchased this yarn and I started this project at a time where I was just getting into garment knitting, and so I think I didn't really quite know what I liked in terms of fit and style. So yeah, it's just things you learn, you know, as you knit more garments. You just kind of realize what you enjoy wearing and what you're more likely to reach for in terms of a knitted garment. And so I decided that I will make, oh yeah, so what I did actually was that recently for Christmas I gifted my brother just a really basic raglan jumper in Drops Wish in the color grey steel or something like that. And I tried it on myself when it was done, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was such a lightweight jumper, but it's really warm because it's a blown yarn. It's bulky, but lightweight. And so I was thinking, like, I have this whole quantity that's sitting here. I might as well make myself the same jumper, and it be just a, you know, a really casual jumper that I don't really care about, because this didn't really cost me much money. So I might as well knit it up and make it a casual jumper that I can kind of throw on over anything, a bit like a house jumper or something like that. And it's really soft to the touch as well. So yeah, make something good out of something that didn't necessarily work the way I thought it would at first. So this actually concludes my yarn stash diving, and now I have the daunting task of putting everything in boxes and hoping that no moth will get to it. And also I need to sort what I want to actually keep for when I'm in Switzerland. This is not going to be fun. But anyway, you get to see the fun part of it, which is, you know, just going through what I have. And I'll do the not so fun part of putting everything in the box after this video. Apologies for the mess, but after dividing out the things that I wanted to take to Switzerland, which is on camera it looks absolutely way too much, but this is my ongoing Moby Sweaters yarn. This is my ongoing second sample of PhD vest yarn. This is the October sweater that I want to make, and this is the porcelain sweater that I want to make, that I'm making along with my friend from Knit Night. We're going to start knitting this in September, hopefully, and so I'm going to definitely be taking that to Switzerland along with these other things. There's a bit of a color scheme going on, which I'm not mad about. Yeah, it's going to be quite nice. So hopefully I get like these 3 jumpers out of this trip, which I think is totally doable. I'm not gonna have any friends, to be quite honest, so I don't think it's such a bad idea that I bring a lot of knitwear to knit for my trip, basically. And then I've managed to, so that taking into account that I've, you know, taken out 3 sort of quantities from my stash, I've managed to fit everything in 2 boxes. But thank you very much for watching. I hope, as chaotic as this was, I hope this was enjoyable for you. I love watching people's yarn stash videos because I'm quite nosy, and I love, you know, seeing what people have in their stash, because that tends to be things that, you know, someone likes and someone put money into. So like I trust, not like trust, but like more like I take insight from the things that they chose to have in their stash. So I hope that this video also gave you that sort of insight as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.